Medfit Rehab founder Joanne James is a medical exercise specialist. Medfit Rehab, restoring strength and movement, making a difference in people's lives. 647-259-5481. Columbus Center, Athletic Department, Dufferin and Lawrence, medfitrehab.com. Is staying healthy becoming too expensive with personal trainers, gym memberships, massages, and supplements? Then Joanne James, medical exercise specialist, and her dedicated team have exciting news for you. Imagine a healthcare plan that saves you money on personal and group training and gives you premium access to medical professionals. That's what Medfit Rehab can offer you. In the Columbus Center, Dufferin and Lawrence, call today to learn more. 647-259-5481, medfitrehab.com. Hi, Joanne. How are you this morning? Another lovely day?
A fantastic day, Zelda. It's nice and hot. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. All right. Are you stressed? Who isn't? What is the cortisol exercise connection, and what is cortisol? Not cortisone, cortisol.
No, cortisol. Now, it's interesting. Cortisol has been demonized as this big stress hormone, which it is. But what I'd like to share with everybody is that cortisol is important for bone growth. It's important for both your blood pressure control, your immune system function, your metabolism of fats, carbs, and proteins, your nervous system function, and your stress response. And that's where everybody kind of tends to direct their attention when it comes to cortisol. Cortisol is really important when it comes to responding to some sort of stress situation, and you get into that situation and it's a fear-flight type of reaction that your body has. It gets all geared up and excited about something, whether it's something that's good or whether it's something that's bad. But the cortisol is most recognized, I think, for most people, if they don't know it. You know that belly fat around the midsection?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the cortisol is kind of responsible for that as a result of the stress that people are experiencing and not getting rid of. That is one of the actual side effects of cortisol is belly fat. And I bring that up because most people are very concerned about belly fat because it does have some negative impact on your health.
Well, I think it has a greater impact on men. I mean, you will see somebody who has such a protruding belly, and you wonder, I mean, they look like they're having a baby, but of course they're not. But there is something going on that is really not a good thing.
Well, when it comes to men, they have a nickname for that, beer belly. Yes, in some cases, for both men and women, yes, that could be a result of a high level of stress. I think sometimes in most cases it's all about overeating and not exercising. Where I think the cortisol really shows up in is women, right? We're always at a certain age, all of a sudden we're saying, oh my gosh, we've got this tire around our midsection.
Well, everything
Where did
to
it
change.
come from?
Things seem to change. Things, your breasts get larger or sag or whatever it is. I hate to say that, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do the kind of exercising that's going to be beneficial, you're moving toward that saggy look.
Well, exactly. And this is where exercise comes in. When you're highly stressed and you're not relieving that stress through exercise or sometimes meditation, etc., then you are definitely heading towards gaining a lot more weight around your midsection. And so the exercise is required in order to reduce your stress level. And that's the only way to really burn off that cortisol. That cortisol is a result of being stressed out, and it floods into your blood system, and it triggers, weight gain in the long run. So when you have a high level of stress for a long period of time and you don't do anything about it, you're heading that way to, stress, not sleeping at night, anxiety.
It's like a vicious circle because
Absolutely.
one thing begets the other, and I find that exercise. I mean, I was away for 2 days because of the holiday, and I did a lot of walking because I had places to go, and I couldn't use the car. But the point is that if you don't continue that, I couldn't wait to get back to the Columbus so I could start my exercise again and decrease the stress that I had.
Yeah, well, the exercise is going to turn off that fight-flight response that your body's having to some sort of stressor that's in your life. So if you can exercise at least 3, 4 times, 5 times a week, you're always working on reducing or cutting off that flight response or that fear response or that anxiety response. You've got to exercise to do that. If you don't, your cortisol level will stay high in your system, and over time you burn out. And some people move into depression and massive weight gain because that also triggers eating. It triggers eating comfort foods to make yourself feel better. It's just a vicious circle. So exercising is the number one activity. If you feel aggressive and you want to pound on somebody or hit somebody, you know what you need to do? You need to exercise.
Right.
But you need to pick up maybe like a martial arts or something that allows you to get that kind of aggressive
Well, you need to call Joanne James at Medfit Rehab to get yourself on track.
I recommend that too.
Okay.
We love to speak to people and help them, deal with that, because sometimes what we do is we discover what the stressors are for people because they sometimes don't recommend. They sometimes don't recognize what their stressor is.
Joanne, thank you very much. You've given us some very, very important tips. Give Medfit Call a Rehab and start your life from the day one in a positive way. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. You
Bye.
have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Joanne James, founder and medical exercise specialist of Medfit Rehab, will improve your overall health through medical exercise. Contact Joanne James, 647-259-5481, Columbus Center Athletic Department, Dufferin and Lawrence, medfitrehab.com.